Hello friends, I'm Jill Wyoskowski, a librarian with Dearborn Heights City Libraries, and this is an episode of Altered Books. Altered Books is an in-person art program for adults that was meeting prior to the COVID-19 pandemic at Caroline Kennedy Library. In the meantime, we'll be sharing episodes via YouTube to help spark your creativity. Fun, nerdy disclaimer. I am not an artist, just a librarian, and I do not pretend my art or projects are even all that good, but it is something that I truly enjoy doing. With that said, no matter what your skill level is, we're here to be creative, alter books, and most importantly, to have fun. You may be wondering, what exactly is an altered book? An altered book is a form of mixed media art that changes a book from its original form into a new and different form, thus altering the book's appearance and/or meaning. In other words, the spirit of the program is to take an old, damaged, or unwanted book and upcycle it by giving it a new purpose, which in turn gives the book a new life. In this episode, I'll introduce an altered idea, a technique commonly referred to as wax resist. What is wax resist? Artist Pam Ash sums it up quite well. The basic concept is that you lay down some wax on your paper, paint over the wax, and then the wax resists the watercolor. If you happen to color hard-boiled eggs as a child, you may remember the coloring kits coming with a plain wax crayon. The idea was that you drew a design or pattern on your egg with that crayon and then submerged the egg in dye. The dye resists the wax and you're left with your design popping through the color. So how can you incorporate the wax resist technique into your altered book? Well, for starters, you can do it as a page background, which is my favorite, and how I'll be using the colorful spread shown on this page. Or you can use wax resist as a way of highlighting text or an image on your page, or as the main show, creating your own design or pattern and then washing the page with watercolor. The list of supplies needed to pull off this project is pretty short. You'll need a hardcover book that has had the necessary pre-project prep work done. Stay tuned for more on this in a moment. Watercolor paint, nothing fancy. A paintbrush and a small cup of water to wet your paints, and wax crayons or birthday candles. Before the fun begins, you'll need to do a little prep work on the book you're about to alter. If you're new to altered books or need a refresher, please take a few and watch the intro video, which covers book selection, and the pre-project prep video, which lays out the removal and gluing of pages, a very necessary step before starting this project. The first step is incredibly easy. Firmly apply wax from the crayon to your page. If you want the color of your page to show, consider using a white crayon or a basic wax candle. For my project, I laid down purple and black wax from a crayon with a fair amount of pressure to ensure good coverage. The next step is just as easy. Paint your page or specific areas of your page with watercolor. You may want to tuck in scrap paper behind your page to prevent paint from getting on the edges of other pages. Let your pages fully dry before closing your book or moving on to gluing mementos and other ephemera. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Altered Books. As always, we would love to see your project, even if you're just getting started. Email your photos to dhreference@gmail.com or use the hashtag DHCLibraries on social media. Enjoyed what you saw here? Subscribe to the Dearborn Heights Library channel on YouTube and be notified when there's a new episode. Before we wrap up, did you know that Dearborn Heights City Libraries are offering curbside pickup? You can request books, movies, music, magazines, and even video games via our website, dhcl.mishlibrary.org, by phone or even email. After time to process your request, you'll be notified that your items are ready for pickup. Home delivery is also an option for Dearborn Heights residents. I'm Jill Wyoskowski with Dearborn Heights City Libraries. Stay connected with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now on Pinterest. Thanks for tuning in.